Clark hype is real, but a statistic that we saw on X is not. Clark's Indiana Fever jersey did sell out, but more than every single Dallas Cowboy all of last season. Basketball writer Dick Weiss posted that more Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever jerseys were sold in one day than the Cowboys sold last year for the entire team.
You just heard that right. In a single day, one basketball player's jersey outsold the entire Dallas Cowboys roster for an entire season. Let that sink in. This isn't just hype. It's a seismic shift in the world of sports, a cultural phenomenon so powerful that it's breaking every record we have. Her name is Caitlin Clark, and she is single-handedly rewriting the rules of value and popularity. So why is the league she's saving paying her a salary that would barely cover rent in a major city? This isn't just a story about an underpaid athlete. This is the story they don't want you to know, the story of a broken contract, a system in chaos, and how the WNBA's greatest asset has become the trigger for its own self-destruction. The system is flashing red, and we're about to show you why it's about to experience a total breakdown. To understand the scale of this breakdown, you have to look at the numbers. Not the points or the assists, but the cold, hard cash, the numbers the league hopes you never connect. In 2025, Caitlin Clark's official WNBA salary is set to be just $78,066. That's it. For being the most talked about, most watched, and most marketable athlete in the country, she is earning what a mid-level marketing manager makes. Now, hold that insulting number in your mind and compare it to the value she is creating out of thin air. Economic analyses have shown that Caitlin Clark is directly responsible for a staggering $36 million economic impact. She is not just a player, she is an entire economy. Think about what that means. For every single dollar the WNBA pays her, she is generating over $460 in return. It's the most lopsided, exploitative financial arrangement in modern professional sports. And it's happening right out in the open. The evidence is everywhere you look. Before she arrived, WNBA arenas were, on average, struggling to hit 50% capacity. After she arrived, they are sold-out events. TV ratings for games she plays in have quadrupled, a 4x increase that networks would kill for. She is responsible for an estimated 27% of the WNBA's entire economic activity. One player, one rookie, carrying more than a quarter of the financial weight of an entire professional sports league on her back. And what does she get for it? Less than 6 figures. It's not a pay gap. It's a financial canyon. It's a level of disrespect so profound that it can't be seen as anything other than a systemic failure. A system that allows this to happen isn't just flawed, it's fundamentally broken. But this breakdown isn't just happening on spreadsheets and in bank accounts. It's happening in the locker room. This contract, this obscene disparity, has become the spark that has ignited a civil war among the players themselves. Imagine you are a veteran player. You have spent a decade in this league, fighting for relevance, scraping for fair pay, and building the foundation that Clark now stands on. You've endured long bus rides, low salaries, and public indifference. And then, a rookie comes in and instantly becomes bigger than the game, bigger than the league itself. The resentment isn't necessarily personal, it's systemic. Clark's situation doesn't just highlight her own value, it screams from the rooftops how undervalued every single player in that league has been for decades. Fans on social media and certain outlets are quick to label it as simple jealousy, pointing to the hard fouls and on-court aggression as proof that veteran players are resentful of her success. And they aren't wrong about the aggression. The numbers prove Clark is being physically targeted in a way no other player is. A stunning 17% of the entire league's flagrant fouls have been committed against her. The league is allowing their golden goose to be brutalized on a nightly basis. But the deeper truth is that this isn't just jealousy, it's the symptom of a broken system. The veterans aren't just mad at Clark, they're furious at a league that has failed them all. And Clark's contract is the ultimate proof of that failure. Her fame is just the magnifying glass exposing the cracks that were already there. And now, those cracks are giving way to a full-blown fracture led by the WNBA Players Association. The union sees Clark's numbers, they see the sold-out arenas and the skyrocketing ratings, and they know they are holding the ultimate bargaining chip. She has become a weapon in a war she didn't ask to fight. And her performance on the court only strengthens their...
WNBA sensation Caitlin Clark has scored numerous honors for her skills on the... But Clark did more than just dazzle on the court this past season. She has quickly become one of, if not the most popular stars in the WNBA. Clark was awarded the league's Rookie of the Year award after a record-breaking season. She was the first rookie to be named the All-WNBA first team since 2008. Sports media company Boardroom says the WNBA was the fastest-growing brand in the United States this year.
She isn't just a marketing sensation. She's a legitimate superstar on the court. Being named Rookie of the Year and making the All-WNBA first team as a rookie isn't just impressive. It's the validation the players' union needs to prove this isn't a fluke. It tells the league, our power is real, our leverage is undeniable, and you will have to answer for this financial injustice. The system has created a paradox. The very player who is generating unprecedented wealth for the league is also the one who is giving the players the power to shut the entire operation down. This is where the breakdown becomes a full-blown crisis, a spiral from which there is no easy escape. The league is trapped in a corner of its own making. The current collective bargaining agreement, or CBA, is the ticking time bomb. The players' union is already demanding a much larger share of the revenue that Clark is generating, and everyone knows that if their demands aren't met, a player lockout in 2026 is not just possible, it's a near certainty. The WNBA is staring down the barrel of a complete shutdown, triggered by the success of the one person they bet everything on. They can't possibly pay Clark what she is actually worth under the current salary cap, without completely shattering their entire financial structure. It would bankrupt smaller market teams and create an even bigger rift between the haves and the have-nots. But they absolutely cannot afford to let her walk. This paralysis, this panic, is why you see these absurd rumors floating around. That unverified story about the WNBA offering her a $50 million contract. It's not a fact. It's a fever dream born of desperation. It's the league unofficially signaling that they know they have a massive problem, but they have no realistic way to solve it. And while the league panics, Clark is making calculated moves that expose their weakness. She's not just sitting back and accepting her fate. She is showing them, and the world, just how broken their system is by quietly turning down fortunes from other leagues. Ice Cube's Big Three League made a verified public offer of $15 million for a short 10-week season. That's nearly 200 times her WNBA salary for a fraction of the work. She declined. The new unrivaled league offered her over $1 million for their 8-week season. She declined. These aren't just business decisions, they are power plays. She is sending a clear, undeniable message to Commissioner Kathy Engelbert and the entire WNBA front office. Your valuation of me is a joke. The rest of the world sees my worth. Why don't you? Each rejection is another crack in the system's foundation, and it proves she's not just a player caught in the middle of this. She is an intelligent actor who understands every single dynamic at play, including the most controversial ones.
All-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I history is getting her jersey retired. That's right, Iowa retiring number 22, Caitlin Clark's jersey next February. Clark, who was drafted number 1 overall by the Indiana Fever last spring. And I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league has been kind of built on them.
She's elevated the profile of women's basketball because she's a superstar talent. She deserves to get her jersey retired. She deserves to be celebrated at Iowa. When I did an event with her and my guy Mark Shapiro in Iowa, that's his alma mater, 11,000 people showed up. I assure you it was not for me. It was for her. The disparity in treatment between her as a white player and black players who preceded her and achieved so much but lacked the level of recognition after advancing to the national championship game before losing to Dawn Staley in South Carolina last year. What does she do? She goes out in the WNBA and she balls out there as well, and she ends up being a league MVP candidate as a rookie.
Did you hear that? As a white person, there is privilege. In the middle of this financial and cultural firestorm, Caitlin Clark is demonstrating a level of awareness that her bosses in the league office seem to completely lack. She openly acknowledges the racial dynamics that have contributed to her platform and recognizes that the league was built on the backs of black players who never received this level of attention. She isn't naive. She understands the history, she understands the privilege, and she understands the power she now wields. This makes her more than just an asset the league is trying to control. It makes her the most powerful and unpredictable force for change the WNBA has ever seen. She knows her value, she knows the leverage she holds, and she is not afraid to let the entire system break if that's what it takes to force a change. So here we are, at the breaking point. The contract that was supposed to secure the WNBA's future has become the catalyst for its potential demise. The league created a business plan that revolved entirely around one person, but they forgot to build a system strong enough to contain her. They wanted her power, but they were not prepared for the consequences of it. Now, they are facing a future with no good options. Give in to the players' demands and risk financial instability, or hold the line and face a catastrophic lockout that could cripple the league for years. All because they refused to pay their savior what she was worth. The breakdown is no longer a future possibility. It is happening right now, in every locker room, in every contract negotiation, and in every headline. The only question left is, what happens when it all comes crashing down? Commentator Dave Portnoy tweeted that if Clark left, she'd put the WNBA out of business in 2 years. Is he right? Has the league's greed and mismanagement turned their greatest asset into their one true existential threat? The system is broken, the trust is gone, and the woman who was meant to save the WNBA might just be the one who is forced to leave it in ruins to find her true worth. The story isn't over. In fact, the real collapse is just beginning.